What is up, YouTube? It is your boy Dragon. We are back again with yet another video. Today we are going to be going over how we did last week in our Pickems, and we're going to make our picks, and I already made the picks, but we're going to go over my picks, we're going to go over the rankings, we're going to do it all in one video, and this is that video. So if you have been following along, one thing you need to know is that your boy is still in first place. My record last week was 10-5. We had a really good week. We needed a get right week. We were in first, but we were not doing as great as we needed to over the past 6 weeks. We really need to start getting some wins and getting things dialed in, and I think we're starting to get to that point in the season where you can be a lot more accurate. So overall we're 70-37, so we have a pretty high pick percentage. I mean, there's people out there that obviously do really amazing at this, but for me, just doing this on the side, a little hobby thing, I'm happy with where we're at. And yes, we do have, let's look at the group here quick. We have 7 individuals playing along with us. I actually do not have the best record. There was people that we were all tied last week, and 2 individuals must have went 11-4, but your boy is doing a lot of heavy lifting with those rankings. I don't know how I'm doing it. I don't know how I'm staying ahead, but I keep just stacking days, right? You just got to keep stacking the days to get to where we need to be. Let's hop over and check out this week's picks. Alrighty, starting off with my first pick of this week. As you can see, we have the New York Giants beating the Philadelphia Eagles, and this is my lowest ranked pick because even though the Giants just beat the Eagles a couple weeks ago, I felt it almost impossible to not pick them here. They know that the Eagles are Super Bowl champs. They have this game circled in their calendars. They don't need any motivation. The Eagles looked great this last week, but as we've seen with the Eagles throughout, they have had very up and down weeks, and they've played a lot to their competition, and I think that allowed them to lose games like they lost to the Giants last time. So I am going with the Giants here, but I am not that confident in it. But that is how we're starting off. We're starting off with a crazy upset to start the week. Next, we got the Broncos beating the Cowboys. The Cowboys offense has looked really good. I think the Broncos offense has not been as good, but I do like the Broncos defense to kind of limit that Cowboys offense, and you know, I think that the Broncos could just do enough to get a win here, regardless. Next, we got the Texans over the 49ers. The 49ers, I don't know how they have 5 wins. They basically have no roster. Everybody that that's a starter has basically been hurt all of the year. I know they are slowly getting healthy, but it's just crazy to me that they've been able to rattle off as many wins as they have and have a record of 5-2. It's honestly super impressive, and you know, just goes to show how good of a coach that they really have and how good of a a team and system that he's built. It doesn't matter who's at quarterback, doesn't matter who's in at wide receiver, doesn't matter who's your running back. The 49ers can win games. I think this is more of just the Texans needing to get a big win. So I picked the Texans here just kind of like a desperation, like they need this win more than the 49ers need it. I believe in the talent on that side of the ball. I feel like their defense is good. I feel like their offense has the pieces. If Nico Collins can't go, that's a big blow to their offense, but I still think that I think he's going to play, and I think that this will, you know, lean into them, you know, being able to do enough offensively and be able to shut them down defensively and get the win. Next, we got the Bears and Ravens. The Bears are at 4-2. The Ravens are at 1-5. In this league, you don't end up 1-5 if you're not worthy of that record, right? The Ravens, we all agree, are a better team than their record shows. And I can see why a ton of people are picking the Ravens, but there's a reason, there's some type of reason this team is just not operating how they need to. Hopefully coming out of a bye, they can get right. I want nothing more than the Bears to lose, but I just can't. I gotta see it from the Ravens before I'm confident to pick them again. Now, this is the time in the season where they normally get it all together coming out of a bye week. This is prime time. Eagles should win it, or the Ravens should win this game. But the Bears have looked good. You're seeing Caleb Williams growth. You've seen Ben Johnson's growth as a play caller, or not only as a play caller, but as a head coach. And you're seeing this team really put things together. So I'm just going to go with the Bears here based off momentum. And I think they're gonna not overlook a team like the Ravens. If this was a different 1-5 team, I think that, they would maybe overlook them a little bit based on how they've been playing. But I'm gonna go with the Bears here. Just go with what's been working, right? We're not gonna overcomplicate it. Packers, Steelers, toss up. Honestly, this should probably be number one, but I always am gonna have a little bit extra confidence when it comes to the Packers. But we are going into Pittsburgh, and we are facing Aaron Rodgers. I know Aaron Rodgers has this game circled. That team's going to be rallying around Aaron Rodgers getting this win. But this is just a proving game, a big prove-it game for the Packers, right? We all us Packer fans truly believe that this is a team that could go and potentially win a Super Bowl. If you want to win a Super Bowl, you have to win this game. You cannot let Aaron Rodgers beat you in this game. You have the defense, you have the offense, you have the pieces, you have the weapons, you have everything going for you. You have the health finally. There's nothing that should stop us from winning this game. If we can't get this win in what I suspect to be a close game, because we know the magic that Aaron Rodgers has. We know that he's going to be amped up for this game. We know he's going to get that team to rally behind him. We know that defense is good. This is not a bash on the Steelers. This is just I have to have confidence in my team going into this week. I can't pick anybody but the Packers here. Let's go. Next, we have the Chiefs beating the Commanders. The Commanders have looked awful this year, and they just can't seem to get it together. You're really seeing that sophomore slump from Jaden Daniels. Plus, he's been hurt off and on this year, and health is so important at the quarterback position. They also had Scary Terry's also been out a little bit here and there, and I think Debo's also been hurt. So you just got a lot of things working against it. The Chiefs are finally putting it together. They're looking back to their old selves. I feel like it's hard to not pick the Chiefs in this matchup, especially with how the Commanders have struggled as of late. And obviously they're facing some adversity, but you gotta just kind of hope that as a Commanders fan that they can get through it and they can work through it, because this would be a huge win for them if they are able to pull off this win for the Commanders. Next, we got the Dolphins and Falcons. I like the Falcons here. The Dolphins just are another one of those teams that just do not look good. They're 1-6 for a reason. It's like there's like a cancer in that locker room. It just seems like there's this like grossness, this ickiness. Somehow the Dolphins are 1-6. They have a win, but they feel like they have a worse locker room than the Jets, who haven't won a game yet. The Dolphins, there's something seriously wrong. I thought it was maybe not Tua. I thought it was maybe Tyreek Hill early on, but Tyreek got hurt. He's obviously not as impactful, doesn't have the voice in the locker room. So I think it's just like a cancer of the locker room, and I don't think they have the coach to get rid of that cancer. I think the organization really needs to, if they cannot turn it around in a week like this, they probably are going to be firing a lot of people, gutting everybody, GM included, and just taking and restarting this next year with what is supposed to be a good quarterback class. So you might see after this week, you might see them throwing in the towel on Tua, trading away some players if this doesn't go right, firing their coach, and really just moving forward in a different direction. So I'm picking the Falcons here just because the Falcons are on their trajectory is going up. The Dolphins' trajectory is going down. I think it's just an easy victory for the Falcons. Although the fear that I do have with the Falcons is they have played to their competition every single time. Teams that they're better than, they've played down to. Teams that they're not as good as, they've played up to. So they've looked good, but they've looked bad. That's how you end up with a 3-3 record. Next, we got the Chargers and Vikings. I think the Chargers are a good team, and I think that the Vikings are also a good team. I just think that the Chargers have more pieces, and they have a better quarterback, and you never know what you're going to get with Carson Wentz. You could have a great game. You could have a horrible game. I just think that you're going to have more consistency out of what the Chargers are doing. They have an identity. They have a game plan They have direction. They have their starting quarterback. They just have just a little bit more in almost every area. You mean when you really put up everything? I don't know. It depends how Huge is playing that day. If he's in, because Huge can be a Justin Jefferson type impact, or he could be, non-existent. So when you put every position against each other, they're pretty equally matched across the board. I think that I just like the mentality. I like the coaching. Just a tad bit more. And I like the quarterback more for the Chargers, so that's why I went with the Chargers here. But this one could really be close and probably should not be this high, honestly. Actually, let's move this down. Move this down here by San Fran. There's no need for me to put that one that high at all. Next, we got the Bengals beating the Jets. The Jets are going to be picked against every single week until they win a game, and then I will reevaluate. When a team just can't win, they don't know how to win. They haven't been historically a winning franchise. I can't put any stock into what I've seen or what I haven't seen. I have seen some crazy plays from the Jets, and I have seen some horrendous plays from the Jets, so I can't pick them whatsoever. Even though the Bengals haven't looked that great, they looked a little bit better the last couple of weeks with their new quarterback. And, I'm just going to pick them. Any team it is. Doesn't matter what team it is. Even the Dolphins would get picked against the Jets at this time. I need to see the Jets put it together and win a game before I pick them at all. Next, we got the Browns and Patriots. Patriots have looked great. I'm really hoping Travion Henderson get some play at running back. I need him in fantasy to show up. I am dwindling at running backs in a couple of my leagues, and I have picked him all over the place because I see the talent. It jumps off the screen, but for whatever reason, I don't know what he did to Mike Vrabel's wife or what kind of blackmail he has on Mike Vrabel. There is some reason he is not getting on the field, and I would love to know what it is because he is a much better running back. He's got much more upside as a player than Ramondre Stevenson. So I don't really 100% know what's keeping him off the field, but I do need him to get on. But again, this game, Browns have a good defense, but that's pretty much it. Dylan Gabriel hasn't looked like an improvement over Joe Flacco whatsoever. So yeah, I think it's an easy pick for the Patriots here, and would be pretty shocked if the Browns end up winning. Next, we got the Bills and Panthers. Bills, I just think, are a better team. The Panthers have actually been playing really good, and I like picking them for most games. I just like Josh Allen. I'm a fan of his. I like his play style. I like the way that he's willing to put a team on his back, finish games strong. And when it's a close game, the Bills have just shown that they are able to close out games better than Panthers have. And it's going to take some time for me to have the confidence in picking a team like the Panthers against these top end talents like the Bills. Next, we got Buccaneers over the Saints. The Saints have actually been playing a lot better than I would have expected going into this year. I don't hate what they've been doing. I just think that they're just outmatched. The Buccaneers are, again, great team, know how to win in tough environments. Even though they lost to Detroit, I still think that when it comes to talent-wise, you can't compare the two. The Buccaneers just are on a different stratosphere when it comes to the talent and the way their team is constructed. Lastly, we got the Colts over the Titans. I am like a pseudo Titans fan, so this is very hard for me, but the Titans just haven't looked good. The Colts have just been a freight train. They have played every team tough, and there's a reason why their record's 6-1. They have leveled up, and it just took a Danny Dimes at quarterback to do so. A lot of their team hasn't changed that much. I just think you have a good group of athletes, and you have a good team, and you have good coaching. You have good chemistry. Even if, maybe they're flying a little too close to the Suns, maybe circa the Vikings the last couple of years, where they have this grandiose record, but when it comes to playoff time, we all kind of know that they're not that next level team, but they're able to scrape a whole bunch of wins together in the regular season. That's where I see the Colts this year, and I feel like this is just going to be another pretty simple victory for them. They've been able to get out on teams early and often and, put them away pretty simply, and their defense is held up. So we shall see how they do rest of the year. And that is the list. That is the picks and the list in the order. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and until the next one, love you guys so much. Peace.